Okay, imagine this. What if the person you love most, like the very anchor of your world, actually turned into the monster you've dedicated your whole life to fighting against? That's pretty much the devastating spot Violet Sorrengail finds herself in, right at the heart of Onyx Storm. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we are absolutely plunging into this world of dragons, magic, and just impossible choices with Rebecca Yarros's Onyx Storm. This is, of course, the big one, the third book in the Empyrean series, picking up right after, all the chaos of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. So our mission today, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to dive into the source material you've shared, pull out the really key stuff. We'll give you a solid summary, unpack those massive plot twists, and yeah, distill those crucial life lessons hidden inside, all without making your head spin.
Exactly. And we're diving deep into romantic fantasy here. It's this genre that it masterfully blends high-stakes adventure with these really profound personal connections.
Right.
And yeah, okay, there are dragons and magic, loads of it, which is awesome. But underneath, you've got this intricate web of political maneuvering and this war that's just getting bigger. And the core themes, they really hit home, don't they? You know, the sheer power of love, the incredible weight of sacrifice, and that heavy, heavy burden of leadership.
Yeah.
Especially when, like, entire kingdoms could fall. It makes you ask, how do these individual choices, these ethical calls, actually impact everyone's survival?
Right. So let's rewind a bit. Set the stage. End of Iron Flame. Violet Sorrengail's world. It's not just shaken, it's like completely fractured. Her lover, Xaden Riorson, has become Venin, a corrupted magic wielder. He's basically the thing she's sworn to fight. That's more than just personal drama, right? It's a strategic nightmare. How does she even start to reconcile fighting this huge threat while loving the guy who is that threat?
Exactly. It's not just about finding a cure for him anymore. Her mission is immediately tangled up with conflicts of interest. She's forced to question alliances, her methods, even who she is as a defender. It totally shifts the stakes.
Yeah.
It's not just about survival now. It's like a battle for her soul and the soul of her world. And on top of that, the protective wards across the kingdoms. They're failing. Dangerously weak. Everyone's exposed. So there's this urgent need for Navarre, Poromil, and Terrandor to team up, but centuries of bad blood and mistrust, it just makes real cooperation incredibly difficult. It's a political minefield.
And amidst all this chaos, Violet takes on this deeply personal, almost desperate mission, find a cure for Xaden. She has to do it before he's completely lost to the darkness, before the man she loves is just gone. It's this race against time, and the stakes are just intensely intimate alongside the global ones. Okay, so a major turning point comes when Violet starts digging into her late father's research, stuff nobody had looked at in ages, and she uncovers the secret that could genuinely change everything. The key to Xaden's condition, and maybe the whole Venin problem, might actually lie with the seventh dragon breed, the Irids, which everyone thought were extinct. Talk about a plot twist from beyond the grave, like finding a secret quest map left by her dad.
It really is. And this discovery, it thrusts Violet into this unexpected leadership role.
Yeah.
She's suddenly tasked with these missions, heading to faraway islands where magic doesn't even work.
Which, for a dragon rider, someone whose power, whose connection to her dragon is all about magic, going to a magicless zone. That's not just tricky, it's like an existential threat almost. She has to completely rethink how she operates.
And it's definitely more than just a physical journey, hopping between isles and fighting battles. It becomes this profound moral test for Violet. She's constantly wrestling with whether she can stay true to herself with all this pressure, all this temptation to make choices that are, well, morally gray. This quest demands more than just strength. It needs this unwavering sense of self, even as her world is just completely upside down. It makes you think, how far would you go to save someone you love? Especially if it means challenging everything you believe.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of those morally gray choices, let's get into the political tension and, well, treason. Violet makes this incredibly controversial call. Treasonous, really. She secretly messes with Navarre's wardstone, the magic barrier protecting her own kingdom. Why? To shield Grisham riders from Poromil, their technical enemy. This isn't just bending the rules, it's a fundamental breach of military loyalty, a huge strategic gamble driven by desperation.
And General Ados, who, let's be honest, was never her biggest fan.
Not even close.
Right. He punishes her hard, sends her whole squad off to these remote, basically punishment assignments.
But here's the thing. Violet doesn't fold. She actually rises to the challenge. She ends up saving villages, earning this fierce, almost unbreakable loyalty from her squad. It really shows her developing as a leader, even under fire.
Yeah, but then the temptation really ramps up. She runs into this Venin theophany, And Theophany actively tries to, like, lure Violet over to the dark side, tries to get her to embrace corruption, just like Xaden has. And that throws up this massive question, right? When you're facing impossible odds, dire consequences.
Yeah.
How far is too far for the greater good? At what point do you risk becoming the very thing you're fighting against?
So from there, the story takes us on this Deverelli expedition, another desperate quest, this time to those magicless isles. Violet gathers her allies. You see familiar faces like Mira, Riddoch, Dane, Kat, and even Xaden tags along, despite, the Denon thing. It's quite the crew. A very diverse group, all focused on this one incredibly dangerous goal.
And what they find there is pretty significant. More of her father's journals.
Right. And these aren't just like random notes. They reveal much deeper, potentially really unsettling truths about Venin, about dragons, and crucially, about why those wards are failing.
It feels like every page just peels back another layer of complexity, making everything Violet thought she knew suddenly questionable.
And the political games they have to play on these islands, it's intense.
Oh, totally. We're talking poisonings, these deadly competitions.
Yeah.
There's even a fatal card game that seriously made me doubt every single alliance. They had these critical meetings with powerful rulers too, including Xaden's estranged mother, which is a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, and the source material really emphasizes how fragile everything is. Allegiances are constantly shifting. Some allies are gained, sure, but others are lost. It just hammers home how easily their whole quest could just fall apart.
Definitely. Okay, so after all that, they get this moment, this fragile glimmer of hope. On some remote island, Violet and Xaden finally track down the Irid dragons. The ones her father's research hinted might hold the cure. You feel like, okay, this is it. The breakthrough.
You really do, but then, bam, devastating rejection. The Irids want absolutely nothing to do with them. They completely reject Andarna, Violet's young dragon, and just flat out refuse to share any cure or even consider allying with them. It's such a good punch. You see Violet's hope just shatter.
It is, but I think this is also a really powerful moment for showing resilience, though. Because even after that crushing setback, Violet doesn't give up. It really highlights her determination, even when things seem completely hopeless. She doesn't just sit there in despair. She starts thinking, okay, what next? It shows that key leadership trait, right? Not just pushing through, but adapting, finding new paths when the obvious ones slam shut.
True. Meanwhile, back home, things are definitely not getting any easier. The Venin attacks, they ramp up dramatically. The stakes get even higher. And Theophany, remember her, still a major problem. She makes this absolutely brutal move, captures Violet's sister, Mira.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and demands Violet and Jack as ransom. Suddenly, the conflict becomes intensely personal again, incredibly fast.
Okay, so that leads to a massive battle.
A brutal one. Xaden pushed right to his limit, fully unleashes his Venin powers. He's teetering, like, right on the edge of losing himself completely to the darkness.
You can almost feel that internal struggle, can't you? The sheer effort just to hold on, not to completely succumb.
Totally. But Violet, with critical help from Andarna and also Prince Eric, who it turns out has this rare ability to see the future, which is handy.
Very handy.
Right. She manages to kill Theophany. It's a huge victory, yes, but it comes at this immense personal cost, especially for Xaden, who basically walked right up to the abyss of his own corruption to save everyone.
Wow. So victory, but complicated.
Extremely complicated. And the revelations keep coming. The aftermath is where things get really, really interesting and raise some profound questions. Violet wakes up to some startling news, first bombshell. She apparently requested to have her own memories erased after the battle.
Wait, she asked for it?
Asked for it to protect herself from the trauma. Just think about that for a second. Deliberately choosing to forget parts of your own life, your own experience.
That's heavy. What does that even do to your sense of self?
Exactly. And then, before she can even process that, second bombshell, she finds out she's now legally married to Xaden.
Married?
Yep, making her the Duchess of Tyrrendor. Talk about a sudden promotion and a whole new messy layer of political and personal entanglement.
Okay, my head is spinning a little. Married, memory gaps. But where's Xaden in all this?
That's the chilling part. Xaden himself, missing, gone.
Oh, no.
So Violet's now a duchess, possibly missing key memories, and the person she fought tooth and nail to save isn't even there. And of course, the war is far from over.
So it raises that huge question we sort of touched on. What defines us more? Our past, even the painful parts, or the choices we keep making now, especially if parts of that past are deliberately hidden?
Absolutely. And these insights, they go way beyond just the plot, right? They offer some really crucial takeaways for Well, for you listening, let's dig into those a bit. First off, this idea of love and sacrifice, Violet's relentless drive to save Xaden, it sort of reframes love as this radical act. She's not just fighting for a person, she's fighting against how her world labels him monster.
Right, she's confronting these really deep-seated beliefs about good and evil. It's more than just sacrifice. It's like this revolutionary act of empathy, almost.
It shows it's not just a simple choice either, is it? It's this ongoing, often agonizing commitment. Love as an active force, one that can actually challenge society's rules, not just, a feeling.
Then there's the leadership angle, how lonely it is. Violet's treason altering the ward zone. It really shows leadership as this morally ambiguous tightrope walk. Her choices highlight that real power sometimes means breaking the rules, even betraying loyalties for what you think is the greater good. It blurs that line between hero and, well, renegade.
It really makes you question things like, is loyalty to the system always the right thing? Or are there moments when breaking the rules is actually the most ethical leadership choice?
It underscores that immense pressure of responsibility. It's easy to judge from the outside, isn't it? But when you're the one making calls that affect so many lives, yeah, the lines get blurry. Leaders often make unpopular but maybe necessary choices. It forces you to rethink what a good decision even looks like.
And then the cost of power. Xaden turning Venan is such a potent example of how power, especially unchecked power, can corrupt. But his struggle also shows something else, right? How love and loyalty can be like an anchor, preventing a total fall into darkness even when you're wielding something that dangerous.
Yeah, his internal battle really speaks to that. Even when facing massive power and the pull of corruption, those personal connections can still offer a moral compass. It's clearly a fragile balance, though. His journey shows that the fight against corruption is often internal, too. It takes constant vigilance, the will to resist.
And let's not forget hope, even after rejection. When the Irids, her last best hope for a cure, just shut her down completely. Violet refuses to give in to despair. She doesn't quit.
That's such a powerful lesson in perseverance, isn't it? It's about adapting, finding new ways forward when the obvious paths are blocked.
Absolutely. It shows that resilience isn't really about avoiding failure. It's about how you react to it. It's adapting, innovating, finding unconventional solutions when the rulebook doesn't help anymore. Which is, let's face it, a pretty critical skill in any tough situation, fiction or real life. And finally, circling back to that really profound question about memory and identity. Violet choosing to erase her own memories. It forces us to ask, what truly defines us? Is it our past pains, our history? Or is it the choices we keep making right now and into the future? Does forgetting make you less you, or does it maybe give you a chance to reshape who you become?
It really digs into self-perception, doesn't it? Are we just the sum of our experiences, or can we actively redefine ourselves by what we choose to hold on to, or what we choose to let go of? It's a really powerful, thought-provoking look at identity itself. Is forgetting self-preservation, or is it losing yourself?
Woo, what an incredible, intense journey. Onyx Storm is it's packed with sacrifice, unwavering love, calculated betrayal, and just staggering resilience. It blows the world of the Empyrean wide open. And Violet, she transforms from this, reluctant cadet into a leader carrying the weight of nations. But that core personal battle saving Xaden, that's still completely unresolved.
Absolutely. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Thinking about your own life.
Yeah.
What seemingly impossible personal battles are you fighting, maybe while juggling bigger responsibilities? How do you possibly balance those two worlds, the really intimate stuff and the immense external pressures?
Well, we really hope this deep dive into Onyx Storm has given you maybe some surprising facts, definitely a clearer view of its powerful lessons, and all those surprising depth. Until next time, keep diving deep.